Hello there, and welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be talking to you about using Podia, a platform that is an online storefront, but more so the community option. Hope you enjoy. So, welcome everyone, and tonight I'm going to be talking about playing with Podia, a community platform. But before I get too much into that, I do want to kind of give a bit of detail about myself, just in case you aren't familiar with me or my work. So my name is Daniel Loftus. I'm a genealogist based in the south of Ireland, and I am a genealogist specializing in Irish research, as well as the main side position I hold, the creator of Project Infant, which is a resource for those who may have been born, who may have died, or families of those who were in mother and baby homes in Ireland. But again, I always say I could talk about that for another hour, and I could. But to prevent myself from doing that, I'll get going with the presentation. So in this presentation, I'm going to be talking to you about Podia and kind of a few things about, so like, how does it work? How do you register? And just a basic kind of walk around. It's not going to be a very long thing, but just to kind of give you an idea of how you might be able to perhaps utilize it for yourself, and how you might be able to utilize Podia as a member of another community. So firstly, we have to probably wonder, what is Podia? Is it a new thing kind of coming on the scene, or is it relatively, old tech? But no, it only came into being in September 2014, and the community feature, which is what I'm going to be talking about tonight, is kind of a sub feature of Podia itself, which is a place kind of where you can have your own website, your own storefront, and you can basically kind of like a sell online type e-commerce, I suppose, platform is probably better way to describe it, with a way of connecting with, fans or a community, be what it is. So why discuss this? So in social media, I think what a lot of people look for is a platform that, is quite simple, I suppose, to use, because some people might necessarily be, too techy, or, they might like complicated platforms, or, they just want something where they can do, so like post a comment and it works. You don't have to hop through hurdles to do it. Not that really happens, but it also, kind of playing around with it, I found it also has, quite a wide range of functionality in what it offers. So advantages and disadvantages, because of course, each platform has its, bonuses and its kind of negatives. So kind of it's simple, as you'll see later on, kind of the interface, it's not too crowded. It's also allows you to bring in as many people as you want, whether that's 10, 100, or 1,000 or more. You can accommodate them all because there is no limit, thankfully. And that's on the free version too. Notifications, which are kind of an email type style, which might necessarily be everyone's cup of tea, but either way, they are quick to deliver to you if you do have them activated. And of course, as I have there, it can be a bit overwhelming at first, depending on kind of, how many notifications you get. So you may want to tone it down, or you may want to, fiddle around with what notifications you have activated and what ones you might want to disable, whatever that may be. Unfortunately, you cannot tag someone or at someone on this platform. That's kind of one of the probably downsides of it. So you can't tag John and say, "Oh, look at this." You have to kind of stick it in a channel and hope the person sees it. So that functionality, which I think a lot of people like to have, isn't available here. So that's kind of, I'd say, the major downside to this. There is no app, but what I found is with that, it has a lot of it's quite mobile friendly. So kind of if you were on a phone or if you were on a tablet or something, it's just as good as being on a computer. Like it just seems to work well in any situation. Um, and you can't DM other members, but I'm going to show you other ways how you can do that later on. So while it may seem like it lacks in some parts, it can easily make up for it in other cases. You can only have one admin, and I have an asterisk next to that is if you pay, I think it's $20, you can add another admin. And of course, that might necessarily be um, of interest to everyone, but whether you whether you have just one admin account and you give people access to it, that might be a way around it, depending on what setting we're talking about. And easy to ask for help if needed, because you'll see when you use Podia, there's a button at the bottom right, which kind of is a direct means of communicating with the admin of the community. So and I think that's it for the moment. Oh yeah, so how does it work? So in terms of what I could compare it to, I suppose it works sort of like Facebook, but you know, it works. No offense to the people who are power users of Facebook. I can't really knock it too much considering it's one of the platforms I use most. But I have found that it has its moments where it's like I've given up. So it also exhibits kind of if you use Slack, Microsoft Teams, or Discord, it kind of works like that too, where you have channels. So you can just some of the ones that I have in the community that I manage at the moment. So I've got one for DNA, I've got one for blogs, I've got one for events, I've got one for most things really. However, of course, that will expand. I say most things. It's kind of a select few at the moment, but hopefully will expand in the future. And the best part is with the topics, you can follow them. So if you only wanted to see content related to DNA or topics surrounding DNA, or you just want to follow blogs, you could follow the relevant topics for what you're interested in. And this is an example of them. So I'm glad I actually included this in the screenshot because I wasn't sure if I had. So you can see that I'm following all these. So I can see 3 people in each one of who's who's a part of it, but I can see the total number of people following a topic here. So 5 for events, 6 for general, 3 for DNA, and 36 for bulletin board. So if I look here, I can pick which ones I want to follow. So I'm following all of these. But I can, click to unfollow whatever. But you can see this one's faded out because you can choose what channels or what topics to automatically opt people into. So I opt people into the bulletin board, for example, if I need to get an announcement out there. I obviously don't spam the channel, obviously, but if I need to get an important announcement out there, I set the notifications so like everyone gets an email when a new post is created. So then that is immediately distributed to all the members. So it's a nice way of kind of getting the word out about that. So if you could turn it into a newsletter channel as well, I suppose, kind of in some cases, you could kind of say, here's the latest from whatever. That's just an example. And then you get the profile. So it, again, like I said, it's a simple kind of interface. It's not too clunky. So this is my one. So I have, a picture. I get this badge, and only I get this badge because it says creator. The badges do depend on a bit of criteria. For example, you get the founder badge if you were one of the 10 people after the founder to sign up for the community. So 10 people have already got that because I think I have about 50 people in the community at the moment. And then I can add social links. So again, this is an example of because you can't DM people, you can link other alternative methods of communication. Because you can't DM people. So I've got my social media link there. And the one at the end is like the website. So I've got my kind of linked tree or link aggregator thing. So I have that linked so that people can easily find that. And then here you've got the posts. So I'm obviously not going to click that because it's an image. It's not going to work. But the posts, you can just see what each individual person has posted on kind of each of their on their profile, and you can see what topics people follow as well, because that's the example I've used. So, I can see that I'm following the AI and genealogy channel, and I'm following the blogging corner. Now, obviously, this screenshot is outdated because, more people have followed it, but it still stands. So when writing a post as well, it's not that clunky. So you can pick a post title. Well, you have to add a post title. So, what I recommend when you're doing that is to add something that, I suppose kind of grabs someone's attention. So if you kind of say need help or need advice or whatever it is, that you just write it in there, and then the content you can write to your heart's content and avoiding the repetitive word. But then you're probably thinking, well, can I actually do anything with it apart from, typing words? But if you look there, you can see that the prompt, or the kind of faded text, it says type / to format and insert. And it brings you a couple of options. So I can insert an image, a file, or I can embed something, a button maybe, or a line to kind of separate things. And as well, you get formatting options. So you can do headings, you can do large text, you can do bullet points, ordered lists, code blocks, block quotes, whatever it may be. And then when you're getting ready to post, you click the choose topic button and you choose where you want to put it. So if it's the DNA question, you can stick it in the DNA channel, or you're sharing a blog post maybe, stick it in the blog post section. And then, so commenting is the same thing. Again, with the commenting, it's fairly easy to follow conversations because obviously everything is indented. So if I had a comment and, I reply to it, it'd be indented a little, and it'd be again, just indented. It might be a bit harder to follow on a phone because obviously the thinner screen, so it mightn't be easy to kind of follow it as much, but I think there is a way that you can easily follow conversations either way. So how it looks, and I know what you're thinking, where's the rest of it? But seriously, this is all of it. So I will obviously, this is just a test account I made, and I will go in on it so you can see it live. So when you sign up to the community, now obviously this is how mine looks, how yours look will vary. But on the top right, I can see, I have the community button, and I will show you why that's important, because sometimes it doesn't necessarily go into the community feature all the time. It brings you to your products or something like that, as if you bought something. But if it does that, then you click the community button that's on the top right, and it'll take you to it. So then I can see my homepage. So it'll be based on topics I'm following, or based on topics I'm following or ones I've already been opted into. So I've already opted people into help desk, which I think I might have opted people out of because not everyone wants to follow support posts. But the bulletin board is definitely kind of pinned so that everyone does follow and get updates. So, for example, one plus of that was I put out a post saying that I had changed the URL for the community. For example, it used to be, I think it was danielloftus.podia, my name. So it was actually changed to genealogy community. I figured out how to do it. So I wanted to let people know so that they could log into it, because if you go to danielloftus.podia now, there's nothing there. So that's what I mean, kind of it's handy in that sense. And then at the bottom right, you got the message community creator button. So if you wanted to kind of get in contact with me, or me, and you had a question or you needed help with something, you could easily click on that button, type a message, and it would be sent to me, and I could reply to you. Again, like I said, you can't DM other people on the community, so I would recommend maybe having a blog or something linked to your profile so that people can find you. Just a method of people, methods so that people can find you. And what I really like is it tells you kind of when a channel was last active. So when the screenshot was taken, the last post was in the bulletin board was stuck up 2 hours ago, and in the help desk it was 3 hours ago. Sorry. Last activity. So that would, I can't even get it right myself. What I was meant to say was that depends if you put a comment or a post in a channel. My bad. And then I can see all the available topics. So it'll take you back to that kind of block menu so that you can pick which ones you want to follow or just ones you want to click. So all you do is click on the name and you check it out, so that you can just see what's going on and see if it's worth you following it. And then you can see the badge. So that turn, I think the badges go like 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, 12 months, and then 1, 2, 3 year. And then I think it stops there. I can't remember off the top of my head. I think it's something like that. But there's a number of badges depending on kind of how many or how long you've been in the community or whatever. So then some other things, and I know what you're thinking, we're almost done. The presentation slides, not the actual demonstration. So some other things is, of course, and this is, an evergreen comment, this won't work for everyone, why this platform might work for some people, but it won't work for others. If you're communicating in the comments section, especially if someone's on a mobile device, you might just help people out and you might just go at and just physically type out the name of the person that you're replying to so that people know who you're replying to. I know it might seem a pain, but it's just for people who might be looking at it on a phone because there's no app and there's no kind of easy way of kind of seeing replying to, let's say on Twitter, it says replying to at whatever handle. And of course, one account doesn't fit all. And what I mean by this is if you signed up for my community with whatever account details you have, it won't work for others because you've only signed up for my community. But if someone else created a community on Podia, you would have to create an account for that. But of course, you could still use the same details. So that's the end of that part. So now we are going to go to, and I have it ready here, the community page. So this is kind of what it will look like when you start, and the link to this will be in the description of the video if you're watching this back on YouTube. So you can easily get to it and find it. So you can customize this any way you like, and you can make it as long as you like as well. Basically, how it used to look was hopefully a place to the genealogy community. That was it, and then just the buttons. I've since added some things there so that people who do see it know, okay, does this fit my am I eligible to join, or is this kind of something that I might be interested in joining? So I didn't set the age restriction. That was Podia's own rules, so you had to be 16 years old to join. So kind of my one is just a general genealogy. I don't really have a specific one. So like I don't have an Irish genealogy one, I don't have a whatever, but I can create topics to do so. And of course, please don't spam either. Now I say there's loads of people in here. I think that's probably hoping that I might get loads of people in the future. I think there's 57 or something in there at the moment. So I said, sound good. Welcome in. So let's just say now I can hit the preview button. Now, I don't think I have, no, I don't. Okay, so I don't have any kind of public posts. So I can like put a couple of posts as public or a topic as public so that people can kind of see what they're getting into. But personally, I don't have any of that on display. So let's just say I am a new person and I wanted to sign up for this. So I've got, my sign up page. So it says, you're signing up for this and whatever. Now, I already have a test account made, so I can't really go the full way. But essentially, you just stick in your email address, accept the terms and conditions, and hit get now. If you don't hit get now, it won't really work. I think if you hit continue, I think it does work, but just hit get now just to be on the safe side. So I've already created an account, so I'm just going to hit login. I've got my details already saved. That's just a forwarder email. So trust it to work when I want it to. It didn't work a while ago when I was testing this out. So your page, if you log in, might sometimes look like this. So obviously, as I said, Podia is meant as an online storefront or kind of a product-y online shop type platform. The community is just sort of like a sub feature. So I don't have any products. Why would I? So I'm just going to hit community. And then voila. Okay, I didn't unpin the help desk. I'll unpin that after this. That won't be there. So this is the kind of community thing at the moment. So based on now, it might look fairly quiet, but this is just based on the topics I'm following because I'm only following the bulletin board and the help desk. So I've got my post there. And if I wanted to read the content of a post, because obviously you just see an ellipsis here, meaning that there's more to it. So I can click read post, and that will have, the whole content of the post, and then I can see the comments on it. And then so this is what I mean. So it's indented, so I can easily follow the conversation. And then I can just go home again. But let's say I want to explore what was here. So I'm going to go to all topics, and I can see, okay, so this is what I've got available. So I might go for the AI and genealogy channel, and then that adds it to my topics menu. Then I've got, let's just say I want to keep up with any events that might be happening in the future. So I'm going to click that and I'm going to follow that. But let's just say, oh, I don't know if, I want to follow the podcast channel. I'll go check and see what's in it. So I'm going to click on the name of the topic, and then I can see, oh, there's a post here. And I can have a look and see what it offers. And, I can interact. And if I decide, oh, yeah, I wouldn't mind keeping up with any, new podcast episodes and whatnot, I can hit follow. And again, that'll add it. So if I go home now, I've got, oh, my timeline suddenly changed because I followed more topics. And again, you can follow as many or as little topics as you want. That is up to you. And then I'm not going to show it here, but kind of if I click there, that's got members. So I can see who's in the community, and it's sort of like a directory. So I can search for a name and I can go to their profile and check out their posts or the topics like I showed earlier. Or I can click on one of the social media links to perhaps contact them if I wanted to follow up with them about something. But again, along here, if I didn't necessarily want to read everything that was in the timeline and I just wanted to look at maybe, let's see what's in the bulletin board, I can click on that and that'll just take me to the topic for the bulletin board, and then I just read that. So how you use it is up to you. And down here, I've got the kind of Zs, meaning that my account is dormant. Well, I'm not active. I am here, but not actively on it. So I can kind of say, hi, can you help? And I can send a message, and if I hit enter, that's just send a message, and then that'll show up on my end, and I can correspond with you to help you out with whatever query you need. And then if I go up here, I've got my settings. So what I would recommend is if you are kind of, I suppose, in the community, I would recommend adding a bit to your profile. So here is how I can go down and do it. So I've got a photo, so I can edit that, and I can add an image, or I can search an image. I think so. The search image is to get stock images via, I think it's Unsplash that it uses. So I don't want to add a photo just at the moment. So bio, I can add a little thing. So I'm just going to say genealogist for Project Infant. I can type. Okay, let's just say I add that, and then I can link my socials. So let's just say I want to link my website. Sure, go on. So let's just say venusgenealogy.com. Save that. Right, and that's going to be on my profile. And I can see what my profile looks like by clicking this button. So that'll take me here, and I can see, okay, so I have my bio. I have my website linked. See? That works. So then I go back, and then I can check out what topics. So I can see, oh, this person's following, the help desk, podcasts, events, bulletin board, and AI. So it's kind of nice, and it's not kind of too overwhelming or too crowded to keep up with. And then I've got my notifications. So I can, first of all, choose what one, uh, what ones I want. So I can choose to just have no emails sent to me at all. If I just want to check in on my own, um, on a whim or whatever, if I didn't want to kind of be, let's say, hassled by notifications, go like, oh, someone replied to you. Oh, come look. But I would recommend keeping that one at the least so that you actually can keep up with stuff, if someone replies to you. Because what I would recommend is going back to kind of whatever topic you may have been communicating in, go to the post and go to the comments and see if there's anything new if you don't have notifications set. So that's why I say keep them on. As for messaging, this would be so like if you had a query or you sent me something or you needed help with something. So even if you didn't necessarily want to have this on, I'd still again have the email notifications on. So, and then I can choose what notifications I want here. So I can actually untag all of these. So let's just say I want to hear about new posts. I only want to hear, again, new post here. Let's say I want to hear post and comment replies for the help desk. And let's say I want this and this for the help desk and podcast, but I don't want any for the events. So I can hit save and that will remember my preferences. So obviously the ones I had here, I had everything I think ticked for bulletin board events. So that's the default that I set for each topic. However, that does not dictate what you can or can't opt out from. So if you want to opt out from, the bulletin board completely, you just want to go like, I just want to look whenever I want, I can just untick all of that. So I think that's pretty much it. Oh yeah, and if you want to delete your account, if you're fed up with it, you can just click that and just follow the steps to delete it. So apart from that, I think that's pretty much it. But before I do finish up, let's just say I want to create a test post. So let's just say, hi everyone. Can't keep up. Hi everyone, testing this out for presentation. Still can't type. And then I can choose a topic. So typically for this sort of thing, I'd stick it in the random one maybe, and then I hit done. And what I can do is I can save it as a draft if I want, or I can publish it right now. Or let's say I want to schedule it. So I can click schedule, I can pick when, and then hit schedule post. Or I can just obviously hit don't schedule. I'm just going to hit publish right now. And when I go home now, that shows up now in my timeline. So I can edit the post. So if you go like, oh God, I made a spelling mistake, I can go and sort of, edit it if needs be. And this is what I mean with the faint text where you can see type / to format and insert. So I'm going to hit that. So I can add in an image. So let's just say I can choose file. I think I have to pick one from my computer. So I'm not going to do that. Or I can link something, maybe hyperlink an image to something, and then I can add alt text. I would recommend doing that if you are posting an image to make genealogy more accessible. Then got the lines. So let's say I want to space something out. I could add in a heading, a bullet list, ordered list, or anything like that. And if I kind of go like, you know what, I don't want to add any of that, I can just hit discard and it'll undo it. And then I'll hit delete post, and then that'll delete that. But then I can click copy post. So if I was sending it to someone, I could easily do this. I could go like, oh, take a look at this. And obviously you'd have to be a member of the community, or depending on what privacy settings are set in a community, it would have to adhere to that if you were kind of, I suppose, seeing that. Now, as you can see, I got a like on this post. Now, I don't know who that is. I can't actually see who's liked a post. I can only see who's commented on one. So again, you can like things, but likes, I suppose, aren't really a massive thing, which is kind of nice because obviously with social media, I think we do find that a lot of it revolves around that. In some cases, you know, you want it to be seen, engagement, interaction, whatever it may be. So I'm just going to delete this one. I go like, no, I don't want it now. So I'm going to hit delete post, and then I'm done. So that's it from my end. So like if I was a member, but if I was an admin, this is how it looked for me. So again, not a huge deal different. So the search function, again, that wasn't on here. That doesn't work because I have to pay, I think, 30 quid for that. Again, it's not a deal breaker because, again, there are other ways you could manage that. For example, I could pin a post. So let's just say I could link to posts that people could easily refer back to if needs be. You know, there's always ways around things. And then I can see the members and whatnot, and I can see all the topics. Now, I've opted into all of them because obviously I'll be policing all of it. So let's just say I shared this post here about a reunification story that was featured in the Mirror. So I put that post up so I can see a comment I got on it, and I can obviously like it or I can reply to it. But if I'm an admin, I can hit the three dots and I can delete. So if I get one that's not too nice, I can always delete it. As for this, and then I can share the community. You can't really do that, however, because obviously my URL is a bit different to yours. So I can just copy that. However, if I just copied the genealogy community.podia, and if I paste that, that'll take me to kind of like a web page. Now, that's if you have a website with Podia. However, if you do this, I would recommend maybe adding just a basic page, just kind of say, trying to find a community, click here. And then clicking that will take me to my community. So people can go like, that's where I'm trying to go. So yeah. So as I said, I had sent myself a test message on the practice account. So I can go to here and I can see, oh, I got a recent conversation with me. So I can see, how can you help? I can say, yes, what you need. I can send that, and then I can have a conversation. And then on the user end, I've got a little red dot now. So it says, yes, what do you help with? And then you obviously have a conversation, whatever, and you just help with needs be. So yeah, so that one's there. You can delete, or well, if I'm an admin, I can delete conversations. I just opened up one by accident. And then I can, now I've got this little bar as well because I've got a Podia account and I'm an admin. So if I'm an admin, I obviously have these extra bits. However, if you're just using it for the community section, you're not really going to need much of this. It's just going to be the community, and you can see the members, you can see the topics, you can just go to home. And again, you just use it like as if you were a member of the community. So I think that is pretty much it. So thank you everyone for watching, and I will see you next time. And please leave a comment if there's anything I can help with or anything I can advise on. So thanks for watching.